Ah, we have arrived at the secret base on the moon. Good to see our homicidal robot replicator is still operational. Now, where are those pesky podcasters?
This is recording.
I mean, we are some pesky podcasters, and this is new developments in vague science, or something like that. I am the the Earth creature known as Derek. And here to add credibility to that claim is Jim, the human. Hi, Jim.
I got a lot of skin. Human skin.
Wait, what was that noise? Oh, hello, Justin. It's been a while. Good to see you no longer look like a wiener dog.
Do I not? No, that...
Were you trying to?
Yeah, something went wrong. I'll be back.
Oh, all right. Well, in the meantime, this is a show where we mask our designs on world domination by answering listener-submitted questions with nonsensical rhetoric that we call vague at best. But before we do that, what was this you were talking about, science facts?
Ah, yes. So, as is our April Fool's tradition, we usually do science fact or fiction, which is just two truths and a lie, but with science facts. So, we're each going to go ahead and give you three facts. One of them is going to be fake, two of them are going to be true, and we all have to try to guess which one is the fake one. And all of you listeners out there can also try to guess which one is the fake one. So, I don't know who wants to go first, but I'm whatever.
I think in the past we've had our guest go first.
True. Well, then, Justin, you can go first.
Cool. So all of mine are animal themed this time, which I think I did 2 times ago, maybe. Animals are so interesting.
I love animals.
Yeah.
Number 1, koalas' fingerprints are indistinguishable from humans.
Ooh. Koalas have fingers, right?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Do they, Jim?
I don't know, because they're like little cuddle things. They might have like paw. I don't know.
Little cuddles. They're little cuddles.
They smell terrible.
Rhinos are the only mammal that can't jump.
I mean, I can't jump, so there's that.
All right, you have a third one?
I do. Yeah. Owls don't have eyeballs.
What?
Owls don't have eyeballs.
You said it with such authority that I'm like, maybe they don't.
Like I said, I feel like the ones that I picked this time were like pretty decent. Like,
yeah.
Now I'm very torn. I'm I'm going to go ahead and say I believe the thing about koalas.
Fair.
That's that. So it's between the other two, and like, I want rhinos to be able to jump. That's the thing about it. Like, I feel like I have an emotional reaction to this.
I'm going to say rhinos can't jump.
You're going to say rhinos can't jump is the lie?
I think that's the lie.
Okay, I'm going to go with owls don't have eyeballs then.
nice.
Okay.
And we'll find out if either of us is right.
Yeah. Koalas don't have fingers, period. Full stop.
They just oh.
It's going to be something like koalas have hooves, actually.
Yeah.
Jim, do you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go, sure.
Okay.
This time they're all about space.
Aren't they always
Really?
about space?
They're always about space.
I did not see that come.
That's 100%. I know I've said this before, but that's why I don't pick questions about space. So
Yeah.
I also don't catch Jim's lie whenever he talks about space.
All right, this one, I feel like out of my 3, you might be able to pick the lie pretty easily, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so the first one here. Gas is the most common state of matter in the universe.
Ooh.
Number 2. The Earth is closest to the sun in January. And number 3. Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system.
Oh, now I really want to look up where Uranus is, and I don't remember the order of the planet. It's not Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. What's the...
Oh,
that's parentheses.
yeah,
that's the math thing.
Yeah.
Order of operations.
And King Philip, that's the scientific...
Yeah,
I don't remember
Phylum.
I don't remember the planets.
Because it's different than when I was a kid, because there's no Pluto now, so I can't remember.
Oh.
Oh, I know what it is. My very excellent mother just served us nachos. That's what it is.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
I remember the nachos, and that's what drew me there.
Oh, so it's just closer than Neptune.
Yeah.
Oh, so that could be true. I'm going to say that the Earth is not closest to the sun in January.
Okay.
That's going to be my guess.
I swear to God, Jim, if gas is the most common state of matter in the universe is a lie, I'm going to lose my mind. Because I'm so sure that that's true right now that if it's not, I'm going to be so mad.
It sounds very true. Okay.
I know we're overthinking this, but that's why this game is fun.
I feel like Jim is tricking us.
It wouldn't be the first time he's done that. The Earth is.
Why do you know so much about space? I don't understand.
Because it's fun to read about.
I'm gonna go with.
You gotta pick one.
I know. Oh God, this is so hard. I'm gonna go with Uranus as the coldest planet in the solar system. I think that is a plausible thing. That might not be true because of. There might be I bet you the coldest planet in the solar system is something that we didn't expect, though. It's probably not Neptune. It's probably something else. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go with that one.
Okay.
So that's the lie then, you think?
I think that's the lie. That Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system, yeah.
All right.
So far we don't have anyone agreeing, which is the best way to play.
Yeah, you got to hedge your bets.
Exactly. Well, it kind of factors into the strategy.
One of us has to win somewhere.
One of us, it's cutthroat. We're all against the one person.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my facts this year were originally going to all be animal themed, and I remembered that Justin might do that. So more specifically, they're all eye themed.
Oh.
Ironically, I also have an eye themed one.
You do, and I was going to mention that, but it is not one of the ones that I looked up. So my first fact is reindeer change the color of their eyes.
Huh.
The second one, blue whales have the biggest eyes of all animals in the world. And the third one, iguanas have 3 eyes.
Huh. Well, I don't know how zen iguanas are, but they seem very in tune with... That's a bad joke.
Good. Finish that sentence.
That was pretty much the end of it.
It just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
I have made the joke. I don't need to finish this.
This is a tough one, too.
Blue whales are beefy boys.
They're large. They're large guys, yeah.
Yeah.
They're very large, yes.
I mean, if I remember correctly, I think they're the largest animal that has ever existed. Although I could be wrong about that.
I think you're right.
I think that's true.
So they gotta get big eyes.
I did read about blue whales for this, and I read one of the facts that I found was that they their tongues can be the same weight as like a large car.
Oh.
So they are big, but I feel like they have tiny eyes.
Maybe.
But even a tiny eye on a whale, on an animal that big is going to be gigantic, right?
Yeah. If their eye is the size of a Fiat Panda, you know. I'm going to say I think the lie is the reindeer thing. Cuz I'm thinking to myself, what evolutionary advantage would that confer, you know?
Sure.
So, that's my thought.
Justin?
I'm thinking about what iguanas look like. And I don't think they have 3 eyes. I think that might be the lie.
Okay. So Jim says reindeer and Justin says iguana.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We will find out which of us are right about all the things.
It may be none of us.
It may be none of us. That might be the best case scenario.
Yeah. Good job all around, gentlemen. This was a very hard year.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this game.
Yeah.
It's always entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, I guess to give our listeners some semblance of suspense because I'm certain none of them have just immediately hopped on Google. Why don't we tackle some of our questions?
Let's do.
All right. I am not going to mess up the numbering this year.
You say that every year.
I do. And I was just about to type a number 1, and I decided, nope, that's cheating. So, question number 1 for the April Fool's episode this year. Would a person made of solid helium be able to fly like Superman?
I have opinions about that.
You have opinions about that?
I think they would explode.
You think they would
like Superman has exploded from time to time, granted.
True.
Still.
True. It's not explode like Superman, though.
No.
Well, you know what would happen? As I'm basing this all off of what I remember about balloons, is that they would float uncontrollably into the air until they lost all the helium, and then they would land in a random place and probably be a hazard to birds.
Yeah.
Is what I would think, right?
Yeah.
And then they would be a hazard to birds. I like that. The first thing that came to my mind is, what is solid helium? Like, is that a thing we can do?
I think we can do it. I think it's really, really hard to do. Like, I know making liquid helium is really hard.
Liquid helium has to be like... No, oxygen's 200.
I think liquid helium is like 4 Kelvin.
Ew, yikes. Yeah, that's really cold.
So it's possible that the question's null and void then.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure no matter what happens, if they tried to fly through room temperature air, they would just explode.
They would turn into gas, like immediately.
So liquid helium is a thing we know something about. Does liquid helium float, or is it denser than
liquid
air?
Helium does this really wild thing where it has like, I don't want to say negative surface tension, but like liquid helium will climb up the sides of beakers and like out of beakers.
That's awesome.
Cool. It's pretty cool. It's
I did not know
really
that.
hard to make it though.
Well, and like for reference, right? Liquid nitrogen, which is the stuff that people might be more familiar with, is 77 Kelvin. So
wow.
and it'll just give you instant frostbite.
Yeah. It'll make your day real bad.
4 Kelvin, like 0 Kelvin is absolute zero. So which we can't get to. We can only get to 1 Kelvin, right? Or a little bit less than 1 Kelvin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That is almost impossible. Like,
that is almost impossible.
It's got to be pressure, right? You have to be like, it's the only way to get liquid helium has to be pressurizing it so that the atoms literally like smush into each other, right?
Yeah,
because that's how you get something that cold is pressure.
Yeah. So the short answer to this question is no.
I mean,
just flat out. Right?
Yeah.
So the boiling point of helium is 4 Kelvin. The melting point is 0.95 Kelvin. So theoretically, if you can get below 1 Kelvin, you can get solid helium. They won't fly like Superman because, like Justin said, they're just going to float away and explode in that order.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to control.
Well, it'd be the reverse order, right? They would explode and then float away.
Yeah, you're right.
They would explode and then float away.
That's a worse order, if you ask me. I don't want to do either.
No. Both of those sound terrible.
Both of those sound terrible. Well, I guess we should move on to the next question.
Yeah.
Question 2 this week. What are the best and worst gases to fill your tires with?
I got opinions about this.
I know one of them. I know one of the things you're going to say.
I don't know which one. So, if it's what you're thinking, if it's what I'm thinking you're thinking, you actually don't want to fill your tires with hydrogen because A, they will explode, and B, because hydrogen is such a small atom, it is far more likely to leak out of your tires through the little gaps. So really, you don't want to use light gases. I think a lot of people say that you want to use just pure nitrogen because nitrogen is very inert. It's not too thin, so it doesn't leak out a whole lot. I've heard that actually the best gas to fill your tires with would be radon because it's very dense, it's very heavy, the atoms are gigantic, but it's radioactive, so you don't really want to do that.
I would disqualify it from the best accolade then.
Yeah. Best insofar as you don't have to fill your tires that often.
That's fair. What about, could you fill them with helium and your car could fly?
No, because
No.
the helium is it's not heavy, or your car's too heavy for the helium.
Oh, okay.
You could attach a bunch of balloons to it and fly away, like that guy in, I don't remember who that was. Mythbusters did that
Bang
too.
Bang? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got in trouble with the air traffic control guys.
I feel like I want to fill it with something like chloroform so that nobody slashes my tires.
That's a good one.
Well, I think they can still slash your tires, but you'll catch them.
Yeah, I was saying, like, I don't want them to die, but I want them to be next to my car so I know who it is. So,
Yeah.
like, slash my tire, get knocked out, right?
Now, if you do want them to die, you could fill it with chlorine.
That's true. Well, I thought about that. I was like, poison gas. I don't want to kill anybody for slashing my tires, but I do want them to know that they shouldn't do it. So,
Does it have to be a gas? Because I was thinking maybe you could fill tires with some kind of like foam or something.
I forget what I think that it's because solids can crack. I think the ideal is a gas. And
I see.
Gases are also compressible. So like if you had a pothole and your tires are filled with a liquid, then the liquid may not compress enough and you'll either get like a real good shock or your tire might burst.
yeah, that might screw up your the undercarriage of your car too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the chassis might crack because the chassis is made of metal, right? So
right.
You hit a big enough pothole and you might like crack or break part of the chassis, or your shocks might not be absorbent enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now on the moon and on Mars, actually, the like lunar rover and the Mars rovers, those actually have solid tires, but they're also going like very manageable speeds, and there's less gravity. So
there's less gravity.
They want to be heavier, right?
Yeah.
So I have to cancel this bulk order of marshmallow fluff.
I mean, you could just eat it.
I mean, listen, Derek, if someone slashes your tires, you can patch it with marshmallow fluff. I'm sure that's fine.
Oh,
true.
Good point.
Yeah.
It's better than Fix-A-Flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Fix-A-Flat is, man. Didn't you know?
It's more delicious.
Marshmallow fluff? Oh. It's more delicious than Fix-A-Flat.
Yeah.
Oh, well, guess we should move on to our third question.
Yeah.
We're on 3. Keeping track. Question 3 this week. Why is 4th of July louder than half of July?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good question.
Fractions don't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, it could be a density thing. Like, maybe because there's less of 4th of July, it's louder, and like half of July, there's more density to absorb the noise and the shockwave.
How much louder
That makes sense.
is 4th of July than half of July? Because if we figured that out, we can then figure out how much,
Oh, yeah.
an 8th of July is.
Good point. Well, I think it depends which half of July, because if you like average, the first half of July is going to be louder than the second half of July.
That's true.
I think we do have to average then.
We do have to average. Okay.
So, how loud is a firework?
I think it's 1.
It's 1. It's 1 loud.
Yeah, 1 loud.
So on average, the first half of July is at least 12 loud.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get too actually scientific about it. A firework display averages about 120 decibels, right? A normal decibel range is about 60, right?
Yeah.
Like normal conversations is about 60. So the 4th of July is about twice as loud as half of July, right? As
4th of July is about that. So it's inversely proportionate.
Yeah, which would mean that the 8th of July would be 240 decibels. Is that right?
Whoa.
Woof.
So the 8th of July, we better run for cover.
Yeah. Gotta get some of those noise canceling headphones.
That's like blow out your eardrums level of loud. Yeah,
yeah, like standing at the back of a jet engine loud.
Yeah,
that's too many loud.
Yeah, far too many.
Okay, well, that was way more scientific than I expected that to be. Question 4 this week. Have you ever considered the trolley problem from the perspective of the trolley? I want to say we did a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, actually, we sure did, didn't we?
Like, actually, I didn't think about that until, like, literally just now.
Yeah. That was last episode, right? Or
that was last. So Justin hasn't heard that one yet.
Yeah,
I have not.
We talked about self-driving cars determining who to prioritize in the event of a car crash.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is, I think, literally yes, we have. The answer to this question is just yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have, and you can listen to it
when that episode comes out after we record this.
Yeah.
After we record this, but by the time like the listener hears this, it will be out.
Yeah.
I imagine that from the perspective of the trolley, it's just screaming, like internal screaming. Right?
It has choice paralysis.
Yeah.
It has no control. It has
like, I am not responsible for this. I am just a vehicle.
That's kind of the thrust of like the Kickstarter videos for Trial by Trolley. Is like Trolley Tom was just like, I have no agency. You guys are voting on who I should run over. This is great.
There is have either of you watched the guy who did Vsauce did a series called Mindfield? I don't know if either of you watched it, but he did an episode, and it's a super unethical experiment, and half the episode was him talking about how unethical it turned out to be. But he put unsuspecting people in the position where they literally had to decide to switch a track and decide between hitting one person and like 5 people.
Oh,
and,
jeez.
like those people needed counseling after.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The ethics of psychological experiments, because I'm actually teaching psychology this year, so
cool.
They do stuff like that. If the benefit outweighs sort of the for lack of a better word, the trauma, right? Mm-hmm. And if you can like decondition people afterwards, right? Sometimes they'll do stuff like that, but like that's a tough one. Like
wow.
Telling people they need to commit murder, like you that's a pretty bad one.
It's a pretty bad one. It's a really good episode for that topic, like for the ethics topic, not for actually the trolley problem, which it may have turned into the intention of it, but it was like, he was saying, I want to do this experiment, and as I was trying to plan this experiment, I just realized this is not an okay thing to do.
That's 100% why internal review boards exist.
Yeah.
IRBs are very important for this exact reason.
It's a good tangent to go on there. Should we move on to 5 more questions or 1 question? Sorry, that was a bad joke. That's a bad trolley problem joke.
Oh, I get it now.
It wasn't good. Oh boy. Question 5. Speaking of the number 5, this one actually comes to us from Jonathan. He prefaces the question by saying, conspiracy theory. Are stars actually stars, meaning balls of incandescent gas or miasmas or plasma, if you will, or are they just the holes poked into the container we're in? I am not at liberty to answer this question.
I think it's interesting to consider that black holes are actually holes poked into our container.
Whoa. And black holes used to be stars, right?
Yeah.
So
they are stellar remnants.
Stars are holes waiting to be.
Yeah, they're burning a hole in the universe and then they fall out, and that's certainly not how any of that works, but it's fun to pretend.
What's outside the container?
That's the thing. It's beyond.
It must
be beyond the firmament.
It must be bright.
We don't know.
It's I think it's just a world that's basically the same as ours, except it's populated by lightning bugs.
Well,
and we're the ones in the jar.
I love it. I love that so much more than my answer, which is if you look at the flat Earth community, they will say that beyond the firmament is just water forever.
Water.
Yep.
That was in Star Trek Voyager. I forget the number. It's like species 2184 or something. People who know Star Trek will know what I'm talking about. But they were like from another universe that their universe was just a liquid.
Oh.
And they came into our universe because the Borg attacked them. So,
right.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they came from like a fluid universe, which was a weird thing to think about.
I don't like it.
It sounds gross.
It sounds gross.
I like the idea though that stars are actually just big bugs with like with bioluminescent butts, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like just kind of hanging out. It puts a lot of credence into that episode of Doctor Who where the moon is actually an egg, though.
No, no.
Every time you're on, Justin. Every time.
So bad.
It makes Jim so mad, and that makes me so happy.
kill the moon. It's an egg.
There was a
I haven't even watched that episode.
It's very bad. There was a what if in the what if book by Randall Munro that was like how big would a lightning bug have to be as bright as the sun?
Ooh.
And I think it turned out that the lightning bug would have to be about as big across as our solar system, and then would immediately collapse into a black hole.
This would be based on the amount of energy they would need to generate, I assume.
Yeah, it's just too much mass, and it just would crush itself.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
As much as I like the idea of giant star lightning bugs.
Yeah.
I believe we're moving on to question 6 this week.
Yeah.
This question comes from the YouTube channel You Suck at Cooking. Is it a coincidence that bacon is both made of particles but shaped like a wave?
Oh.
I do not
Is
think...
it a coincidence to what?
I don't know. I don't know, Jim. I think it's
not
a little...
coincidence that light is made of particles and shaped like a wave. I don't know what this is a coincidence to.
I think you're saying bacon is more powerful than light.
I mean, it's not. It tastes better than light.
It tastes better than light? What about light bacon? Is that even a thing?
That's not that good.
It's not that good.
It's not fair.
Bacon is all fat. There's no such thing as light bacon.
There is. I was going to say, there you can't.
I was thinking of low sodium bacon.
Low sodium bacon. Oh, okay.
Yeah, low sodium bacon is fine, but give me high sodium bacon any day.
The answer is it a coincidence? Yes, I guess. It is a coincidence. It means nothing. And it is a coincidence.
Yeah.
Next.
Question 7. Is Saint Patrick a Slytherin?
Yes.
I think yes.
I don't know what that means, other than I know there's parcel tongue is a thing, but do you have to be a Slytherin to talk to snakes? I don't know.
I think you do.
I didn't read those books.
I did. I'm a big Harry Potter guy. Harry Potter's big in this house.
Okay.
So Harry Potter's only a parcel tongue because of Voldemort, right? Because he's a Horcrux.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
But parcel tongue is mainly a Slytherin house like trait, I believe. But like again, it's a weird like very specific world building thing because you would imagine like other schools in other areas probably have people that can talk to animals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
There's Duolingo for parcel tongue.
Yeah. But it's still like not a class, right? It's like an inherent genetic ability.
Oh.
But like a magical genetic thing that happens.
Interesting.
But I would argue that not only did he have to be a Slytherin to do that, but he's got to be like one smooth dude to get all the snakes out of Ireland, right?
Yeah.
He's got to be really convincing to snakes to leave.
Like convince the snakes.
Yeah. Like, hey, it's better over here.
Yeah.
How do you prove that?
Do you want to eat more bird eggs? There are no birds in Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm struggling here. Question 8 this week.
There's no way that's right.
I think that's
It's got to be right.
3,
Is it 1,
6, 7,
2?
8. Wow, yeah.
I did it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Question 8 this week comes to us from the Scarecrow. I'm going to assume the Scarecrow from Oz.
Ah.
I was thinking Batman.
Well, I thought that too, but here's the question. Why is the ocean near the shore? And one of the lyrics to his famous song is, I could
That's
tell you
true.
why the ocean's near the shore. Which leads me to believe this question was sent to us as some sort of taunting condescension, and I will have none of it.
I feel like this wasn't a real question. And I think we should just move on.
Okay.
But I have an answer.
Oh, what's the answer?
It's because the water smashes against the rocks and it grinds it up into little dusts of sand, and it takes a long time, and now there's sand and it's a shoreline.
I don't believe you.
Well, then who would you believe?
I think that would be why the shore is near the ocean, because like I don't know why the ocean is near the shore.
It's got beachfront property. It's beautiful there.
In Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
What?
That's an old George Strait song.
Oh, okay.
Oceanfront property in Arizona. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a love song, as all happy country songs are.
As all happy country songs are. There's two kinds.
Well, the sad ones are usually love songs too, to be perfectly honest.
Most country songs are love songs. Most of the ones I'm familiar with. All right. Question 9. Yeah. Question 9.
Yeah,
We're
9.
on 9. Awesome. I'm doing good. Why are bees?
Sorry, I'm just imagining Derek with 8 fingers out the entire time trying to talk into a microphone and not moving his
See,
finger.
that would be smarter, which is I'm literally just trying to remember what the last thing I said was after being distracted. And I could count. Like, they're in front of me right now. I could count them, and I don't want to.
It's more fun that way.
It's more fun for me, and the listeners can make fun of me, and that's fine. Question 9 this week. Why are bees' knees so great?
I think they're cute.
You think they're cute? Okay. I'm going to say because they're the cat's whiskers.
Ah.
Oh.
Yeah? No? Okay.
I do. I feel like they probably require less knee replacements.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Right.
So like I've never heard of a bee getting a knee replacement, which means they must be good.
That's true.
If you've never heard of it happening, it must be. I don't know where I'm going with this sentence.
It's like the internet. It has to be true.
It has to be true. Yeah, I don't know. You always hear people saying things are the bee's knees. There's an interview. I think it was on the Ellen show, but I could be wrong. But it was David Bowie who later in his life said he came in and whoever the host of the show was like, "How you been?" And he says, it's the cat's whiskers." And they're like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "I don't know. I use it for everything. If I'm sick one day, I'll wake up and I'll be like, I feel like the cat's whiskers. And if I'm having a good day, I'll be like, I feel like the cat's whiskers." And I think that's a fun, like it can be positive or negative.
Yeah. And I can think of scenarios where cats' whiskers are in various states of disrepair. Yeah. So
I also think that like it looks comfortable. You ever see a bee fly and its knees are just kind of like floating in the wind? Like they look really relaxed. Yeah.
Way different than how Superman flies.
It's true.
By being composed of solid helium.
Yeah. You like explosions?
Do you like explosions, or do you like bees' knees? Okay. We are moving on to question 10.
Yes.
This question comes from 2 guys named Joe. Magnets. How do they work? And Jim, before you answer, they do specifically say, "I don't want to talk to a scientist."
What about talking to a friend?
I don't know.
What about talking to a clown?
Ooh, that would be insane,
Hey,
Justin.
This is probably one of the only Insane Clown Posse songs I actually know, and it's because of this line.
I know that line, and
I only know of it.
Oh, I just like that the next sentence is, "I don't want to talk to a scientist." They're all lying, with some profanity thrown in there that I'm not going to repeat.
The low-hanging fruit is magic, right? Like,
yeah,
magnets are magic. That's why they both start with mag.
That's true.
Yeah. That's what did they say? Magic is just science you don't know yet.
You don't understand, right?
Yeah.
And clearly these people don't understand the science of magnetism.
Yeah, so it's just magic.
So it's magic.
Yeah, some people realize it's not.
Some people
don't. So it's magic to them.
There we go.
I actually do know the science behind it, though, right? Well,
I don't want to talk to you.
No. I'm not a scientist. I just know the science, right?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
I mean, anthropology is a science.
It is. Anthropology is a science. I'm super qualified to talk about physics because I have an anthropology degree.
I'm sorry, listeners. You're never going to find out the secret of magnets.
Oh, no. So, Derek, when two magnets love each other very much...
Oh, God.
That's it. That's how they work.
Wait, that makes perfect sense, actually, yeah.
Magnets work by when two magnets love each other very much.
Yeah. You might say there's an attraction.
Oh, I don't know, Jim. You're getting a little sciencey there. I think the train is going to keep rolling for our last question here.
Okay.
We have one more question for April Fools this year, which would make it hold your horses here. It's going to be question number 11.
Oh, you did it.
I did it.
I'm kind of depressed that you managed to pull it off.
Derek, I'm proud of you.
It took a lot of focus. Yeah, so question 11 this week is, if global warming is real, explain why it still snows in the winter.
Because that's not how it works.
Because those things are not as related as you think.
Yeah. I love how Jim's just like anger with people who don't believe in global warming just kind of slipped out and just like, because no.
Yeah. Because the average global temperature, which includes the entire planet, is going up. But individual places still have a climate. We haven't turned into Tatooine yet.
I guess we've just thrown the whole April Fool's Day thing out the window because Jim's upset.
Yeah.
This is fun for me because it's like we found the topic that Jim does not think it's okay to joke about.
Yeah. And you'll notice as the average of the entire planet's temperature goes up, the weather is getting more extreme because there's a lot more heat to drive heat engines, like hurricanes, for example, or cyclones, if you will.
This is a little bit like asking, this isn't a perfect analogy, but it's a little bit like asking, if we just had dinner, explain why you're still eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very familiar with this vibe because I've run into a couple people who believe the Earth is flat, and it's gotten to the point where they're like, "Prove to me that the Earth isn't flat," and I'm just like, I can't actually talk to you right now. I can't do this.
Yeah, that's usually my response is, "Well, prove any of these things you're saying," and I'm just like, "No."
Yeah, I'm like, because like
I don't have to do that.
There's so much energy involved in trying to go over the answers that is just going to be straight ignored. And, like,
yeah.
It's just like, I've done it one too many times with people, and I'm just like, I can't believe I've met this many people who believe the Earth is flat, first of all, because I've done it more than once. But
I've met a decent amount, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to say I haven't yet.
I know it's a fun thing to joke about. It used to be a fun thing to joke about.
Except I've now run into various people who believe it to be true, and I just can't anymore.
I think that a really good counter argument to like prove the Earth is round is be like, well, can you prove to me why is Mars round if the Earth is flat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is every other planet in the solar system round, but ours is not?
I really don't want to go too far into this, but like the things they'll tell you, Mars isn't real, Jim. Space isn't real. There's all these things. Oh man,
we're consistently falling, but also we're falling up, which is why gravity happens, right? Like we're falling through space, but in the wrong direction. It's wild.
When I learned that they don't believe gravity exists, that's when I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, that is all the questions we have for our April Fool's episode this year. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if you have any thoughts that we didn't cover. Don't tell us we didn't answer the questions. You're lying.
Ask us more questions about solid helium.
Yeah, I was fascinated because I actually didn't know most of it.
Yeah, we actually did a really good job of giving these questions answers for once.
Yeah, we did too good of a job. Dang.
Yeah.
Well, I guess speaking of answering things, though, we should probably get back to those lies that we told at the beginning of the episode, right?
Yes.
As is, I believe, tradition. We might as well just go in the same order, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, fact number 1 from me: koalas' fingerprints are indistinguishable from humans. That one is, drumroll please, the truth.
Oh,
that is true. Okay, that's interesting.
So I actually read that
weird.
like koalas' fingerprints have been found at like crime scenes and been indistinguishable from people's, and they like thought it was a person that wasn't on the like within the system and stuff.
Oh no, koala theft.
I hope they screen for that just generally in Australia now.
Yeah.
Like the pads of their hands, I guess, is what you call them. They're very similar to like primate hands, right? So I guess they have the same sorts of like patterns and stuff that we do.
Huh.
It's neat.
Huh.
So the second question, I think, was it rhinos or owls?
Rhinos.
Second was rhinos.
Rhinos. Rhinos are the only mammal that doesn't jump or can't jump. Is a...
Please don't break my heart right now.
That one's the lie.
Woo!
Oh, good. No.
It's elephants. Elephants can't jump.
I kind of thought elephants might have been able to jump because they can rear back.
Yeah, elephants apparently are too heavy to they have too much mass to actually jump in the air, to have all 4 of their and they're too slow. So like a rhinoceros can have all 4 of its feet off the ground at the same time. Apparently elephants can't gather the speed to get all of its feet off of the ground at the same time. So they're too heavy to like jump vertically. So elephants can't actually they're the only mammal I think in the world that can't jump.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Which means owls don't have eyeballs is true.
Okay.
I have a suspicion of the explanation to this.
I think I do too.
I say owls' eyes are tubular. They're like they're almost like more like they're like tubes with like wider parts at the back. So they're not actually spherical. They're not round. They kind of go back into their eyes.
The thing that I knew is that they can't like move their eyes, and that's why they can turn their heads over.
Right. Yeah, that's why they have to turn their heads. And actually, owls do have binocular vision.
Ooh.
So like because like animals that have 2 eyes, right, should be able to have binocular vision. Humans,
right.
Humans have a degree, like 180 degrees of eyesight, with 140 of those being binocular. So we mainly see in binocular vision. Owls only have 70 degrees of binocular vision, but they can still binocular vision's what makes us be able to see in 3D, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's retinal disparity is actually what causes that, right? Is that because your eyes are slightly offset, you should be able to you see 2 slightly different images at the same time, and then your brain says, let's make them together, and that's how you monocular
your head
vision
makes a parallax.
Yes. So monocular vision, you can still tell distance and stuff with monocular vision, but you have to use cues, which are a higher function than like binocular vision. You can just see in 3D and see depth. Monocular vision, you have to know that like objects that are higher are further away, objects that are bigger are closer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Those are like monocular cues that allow you to see depth without actually having the ability to see depth. So like I don't know for a fact, but I would imagine that animals like have a hard time with monocular cues because they can't
imagine.
think through it. So
right.
But yeah, like they're not round. They're oblong and tubular, which is kind of cool.
That's so weird.
I was trying to think of how many animals have only one eye, and it's not a lot.
No, but animals do have eyes on like far enough apart that their vision doesn't cross.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So in order for it to be binocular, their vision has to cross each other. And like there's certain types of fish and stuff like can't do it, and most fish actually I think can't do it. So
cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
Well, I technically got this one wrong, but I think like Jim
got it right.
We kind of hedged our bets on this one.
Yeah, I seemed to recall that some bird or another had like cylinder-shaped eyes, and I was like, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess it's this owl.
I had two backups just in case you guys knew them, which I just think were interesting.
Okay. I like facts.
Penguin urine constitutes about 3% of Antarctica's glaciers.
That's I would have never thought that was true.
That is such a high percentage of urine.
Yeah.
All my facts from last year were all urine based.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot about that. Oh, that would have been a good one.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the other one was that crows understand physics.
That I would have believed.
I would have caught that
one. Yeah. They said crows actually understand the principle, like basic principles of physics more like a toddler does, which means like they know that things like sink and float, and they know that, they can kind of tell density and stuff like that based on which is more than most primates can do. So crows are actually more able to differentiate physics than basic primates like chimpanzees and bonobos are, which is cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Those chimpanzees and bonobos are idiots. I'm sorry. Well, I guess Jim, you went next, yeah?
Yeah. All right. So my first one was that gas was the most common state of matter in the universe, and this one was false.
What?
It's plasma, y'all.
I'm so mad.
It was mathematically impossible for me to not be mad at this.
Yeah. I thought when we read the when we read the question about the sun, and it was like, oh, miasmas of plasma, I was like, they're both going to be like, oh, right, it was plasma. I hate this. Yeah, it's plasma. Like,
I told you I was going to be mad.
You know the main three. That's why, Jim.
Y'all know
everybody
plasma.
knows. I know it, but like the way our education, they teach us that there's three. It's a lie, and it came back to haunt me.
I'm so mad because so much is gas too. But I understand why that's true now, and it makes me so mad.
You have no idea. I'm very mad.
I thought that was going to be the easiest one I've ever done, and
in retrospect, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim. You gotta remember, we're gonna overthink everything because we think you're clever.
So that means the jig is up and the other two are true. But I do think it's really interesting. The Earth actually gets closest to the sun in January, and it is. I have my notes here. Let me pull it up again. The Earth actually gets to be about 91.4 million miles at its closest, and at its furthest, it's 94.51 million miles away from the sun. And I just think that's kind of neat that it's closest in January
when it's coldest.
Yeah. For us, but
for us,
right.
Yeah.
Well, the southern hemisphere. That's why I thought you were trying to trick us there, because like the distance to the sun doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then third one, Uranus is the coldest planet. It's colder than Neptune because Neptune's got a lot of excess heat, which we understand a little bit of that, but we're not really completely sure about why that is. But it's warmer.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've only ever been there the one time with Voyager 2, so all of the rest of our research is like at a distance.
Right. I can't believe you got both of us with this stupid question.
That was awesome. Good job, Jim.
That was very well played, yeah. Every year, I really need to start reading about space so that I can prepare for this moment.
This is how I learn about space.
Your yearly space injection.
My yearly space.
I'm like, I'm gonna go out and like, I'm gonna get you like a space degree.
You're gonna get a degree in astronomy and come back next year and be like,
just so that next year I can be like, I know everything about space, Jim.
And Jim will still beat you.
He's still gonna get me, yeah.
All right, well, one more to go here.
Mm-hmm.
Animal eye theme. My first fact was reindeer change the color of their eyes. This is true, and Jim, you were actually really close because you said you couldn't figure out the evolutionary benefit to this. I think this is fascinating. The eyes of Arctic reindeer change color through the seasons from gold to blue, adapting to extreme changes of light levels in their environment.
Interesting.
It's cool.
So the change in colors impacts how light is reflected through the animal's retinas and improves their vision.
That's so cool.
This is a very minute statistic, but people with blue eyes, like human beings with blue eyes, tend to have better night vision than people with brown eyes, like very slightly, for the same reason. So yeah, I thought that was fascinating.
Wow.
All of my D&D characters who have night vision are now going to have blue eyes.
Ooh.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. Fact number 2, blue whales have the biggest eyes of all animals in the world. This is my lie.
Whoa.
Blue whales have, you almost got it too. They do have large eyes. Their eyes are about the size of grapefruits.
Oh, wow.
Relative to their body, they are very, very small.
Yeah.
So still kind of one of the biggest eyes, not relative to their body, but the animal that actually has the biggest eyes of all the animal kingdom is the giant squid.
Huh.
Their eyes are about as big as a human head.
Wow.
So
these eyes are way smaller than I thought they'd be, because what I see, a Fiat Panda.
Yeah, they're still small. They're still pretty small.
Grapefruit is like comparatively definitely like
compared to the rest of the blue whale's body. Now,
like a blue whale could swallow a human whole and not even notice.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that was my lie, which means iguanas do, in fact, have 3 eyes.
That's wild.
This was another one I hedged my bets on, because I was like, I feel like there was a reptile that had like a third eye that could see infrared or something.
Ooh, okay. Not quite, but so on the top of an iguana's head, they have what's called a parietal eye. So it looks kind of like a pale scale, like it kind of blends in with the rest of their body. So it does look like they only have 2 eyes, but it is able to detect motion.
Oh, okay.
And the reason for this is that their main predator in the wild are birds of prey. So having a motion detection system on the top of their head helps them. I don't know how sneaky that is. I mean, it is technically an eye. It's just not a standard eye that we think of. But like flies have compound eyes, so I figured it counted.
So it looks like, wow, like reptiles, parietal eyes are like, they're not like crazy common, but like bullfrogs have them. And like a couple different types of like lizards and stuff. That's wild.
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
That's cool. Yeah, and they like not, they're not as big as their other eyes either. They're much smaller, and that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of more, it's a less sophisticated eye.
Yeah.
And then they have the standard 2 standard vision eyes.
The ones with rods and cones and everything.
Yeah, all those mechanical stuff.
Normal, boring eyes.
Yeah, this concludes another edition of Science Fact or Fiction, which I kind of want to do this more than once a year. I don't know, but
it is fun.
It's fun, but also I was sitting on the iguanas have 3 eyes for like 6 months, so it's hard to find these facts.
It is, yeah, because coming up with the convincing lie is always the tricky one.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a thing, maybe. How about listeners send Jim, send us in some science fact and fiction, and Jim can like know the answer and tell us, and he can, and we won't know the answer, but Jim will.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So yeah,
I'm always down to do this when I'm on too. This is a good game.
It's a good game,
a good thinky game.
Yeah. So listeners, just have a happy April Fools. Jim, do we have any listener mail this week?
We do, and as always, if you want to send us some listener mail, you can email us at feedback@vaguelyscientific.com. You can comment on our blog. You can like us on Facebook. You can tweet at vaguelysci. And as is our April Fool's tradition, we have some comments from our blog that didn't quite make the cut because they are very clearly not made by a human. So some of these I'm going to read the episode that they are from because it's pertinent, and some of them I'm just going to read wholesale because they are irrelevant and it doesn't matter where they were posted. So this first one comes to us from Business Part-Time. And they say, "Hi, my family member. I just want to say that this post is amazing. Nice written and come with approximately all important infos. I would like to see extra posts like this."
That's just so nice.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of approximate info.
It's nice that robot thinks of you as family.
Yeah.
Speaking of robots, this one comes to us from Learn More. And Learn More writes, "I enjoy oils. I use them on my human body, on my human anatomy, in my own hair, etc. Oils are just wonderful, and I generally stay glued to using just organic, cold-pressed, unrefined oils, since I believe these are the most effective. They keep lots of the healing attributes that are natural included, which can benefit my skin, hair, along with intentionally if they are oils that may be consumed."
I use them in my human body.
I've never actually seen a robot try to convince a human it was human by saying, "Hello, can you see my human?" Like,
yeah, here are all my human parts.
Yeah, like, we really are getting closer and closer to smart AI because they're not trying to convince us they're human by saying, "Look at my human body."
Yeah. This next one here comes to us from Jesus Foom, and this is in regards to episode 69, Naked Invisible People. And they say, "I am assured that you are mistaken."
Rude. Very
probably not wrong.
Very direct. I mean, it's true, but you don't have to say it.
That's my favorite one so far. That's so good.
So this next one comes to us from Xandra Seneca and is in regards to episode 51, Feeding Bugs to Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, boy.
And they say, "The next time I read a blog, hopefully it won't fail me just as much as this particular one. I mean, yes, it was my choice to read. Nonetheless, I truly thought that you'd have something useful to talk about. All I hear is a bunch of complaining about something that you could probably fix if you weren't too busy searching for attention."
So usually these are a bit more positive, but like,
yeah.
what were we complaining about? I don't.
I think we were complaining. Let me think. So we talked about the Lion King eating bugs
and the Death Star. I think in that one.
And the Death Star, yeah. So I guess theoretically we could just build a Death Star. Is maybe what they were saying. We were complaining about not having the funds or resources, and we could go out and build the Death Star if we just shut up and do it.
All right, constructive criticism taken.
Are we going to skip over the fact that he read your podcast?
They all read our podcast. I don't know how they do it, but they're computers. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's binary. Oh, they're reading the binary.
That makes sense. Yeah. This next one comes to us from Employed Full-Time and is in regards to episode 64, Whose Line is the Outer Limits. "I actually still cannot quite think that I could possibly be one of those reading the important ideas found on your site. My family and I are truly thankful on your generosity and for presenting me the chance to pursue our chosen career path. Thanks for the important information I obtained from your webpage."
I am thankful on your reply to our podcast.
Yeah, I'd like to know what career they're getting into based on what we talked about in that episode.
Their name is Employed Full-Time, so...
Yeah. This next comment comes to us from Latest Hairstyles, and they say, "Your house is valuable to me. Thanks."
Jim did not slur over his words. It says valuable.
Yeah.
Thanks with an exclamation point and a question mark.
So this next comment comes to us from Discover More, and they write, this is going to be a good one. "As soon as upon a time, a good friend of mine informed me that your heart should beat with the rhythm of town, which streets you might be strolling on. The great pace of your pulse, whereas going around New York metropolis will make your feeling extra alive than ever. On the identical time, it could possibly give you the feeling that you're just an insignificant little breadcrumb while you look up at the magnificent skyscrapers gloriously rising in the skyline. However, regardless of the feeling it is for positive one that you'll never forget. Additionally, slightly confusion could rise inside you, however, only in phrases the place to start from. There's so much to see, so much to really feel you couldn't get yourself disadvantaged of. No worries. During sunny days, the sightseeing tour bus can do this for you. There may be plenty of them on Times Square. In the night, you'll be able to attend an aesthetic show on Broadway or have the time of your life at Madison Square Backyard with an incredible live performance where you may celebration like a rock star. New York City is a non-secular cocktail of various cultures and variety. You possibly can actually meet individuals from everywhere in the world as there's such an endless stream of holidaymakers on the streets. Just have a conversation on the pavement or carry it to any of the corner cafes or restaurants. You may literally really feel anywhere on the earth when a specific country's delicacies touches your tongue, as New York City will offer you the world on a plate. In case you plan to go back residents with a handful of latest acquisitions, you'll feel lucky, particularly if you are the metropolis at the time of the nice seasonal or holiday sales. From the glamorous avenue windows in Manhattan to the unbelievable price tags uptown, you may deal with yourself with a spoiling procuring spree. If not within the temper for throwing tons of money on Vogue, you possibly can at least make investments a small sum for memorable massive Apple keychains, Statue of Liberty's fridge magnets, I Heart New York t-shirts, a flowery pair of yellow taxi socks, or no matter your thoughts, can imagine from the broadly spread and generously stocked souvenir shops.
I have no idea what any of that means.
I'll be honest with you. I've had this one in the spam folder for a very long time, maybe 8 or 9 months, and I never read the whole thing. And it's so good. My favorite part was Madison Square Backyard.
I want to say that this one is written over 2 pages, at the bottom of one page, and continues. And I scrolled down because I was following along with you reading. And when I got to the next page, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is so long."
You had me at New York City as a non-secular cocktail.
Yes.
I mean, that's very poetic.
It is.
It also doesn't make any sense.
No.
That was amazing.
This next email comes to us from LaGuardia to Brooklyn, speaking of New York, and is in regards to episode 80, Turbo Teen. Remember him?
I do.
You really make it appear really easy together with your presentation. However, I find this matter to be actually something which I think I would by no means understand. It sort of feels too complex and extremely vast for me. I'm having a look ahead on your next submit. I'll attempt to get the grasp of it. Well, I don't think we're ever talking about Turbo Teen again, so.
And you put this after that last one on purpose.
I didn't, actually. I'm glad I did, though. This one comes to us from Lucky Adam and is in regards to episode 67, We're All in the Illuminati, which was last year's April Fool's special. And Lucky Adam says, contact Mr. David Mark, and gives us a WhatsApp number that we can call him through. Hello, everyone. My name is Lucky Adam Am from Nigeria. I'm here to give a testimony on how I joined the Illuminati Brotherhood. I was trying to join this organization for so many years now. I was scammed by fake agents in South Africa and USA. I was down. I could not feed myself and my family anymore. And I tried to make money by all myths, but all in vain. I was afraid to contact any Illuminati agent because they have eat my money. One day I across a post of someone giving a testimony thanking a man called David Mark of being helpful him to join the Illuminati Brotherhood. Then I look at main phone number that was written there. It was a Nigerian number. I was afraid to contact him because a Nigerian agent eat my $5,000 and go away with the money. Then I was very tired, confused, and I decided to contact the person that was given the testimony. And I called him and I communicated with him on phone calls before he started telling me his own story about when he wanted to join. He told me everything to do. Then I made up my mind and called the agent called David Mark, and he told me everything to do. And I was initiated. Surprisingly, I was given my benefit of being a new member of the great Illuminati Brotherhood. I was so happy. For those of you trying to join this organization, this is your opportunity for you to join.
That is so on point.
It's very on point.
I'm a little concerned.
And we have that WhatsApp number if we want to join the Illuminati, apparently.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Right, yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard a pitch like that where they're like, if you want to join the Illuminati, here's your chance.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with being part of the Freemasons.
Yeah. It's probably one of those like step up programs.
Yeah.
Like, you know how to get into Formula One, first you have to compete in like GP2 and Formula Renault, and I don't know if GP2 is a thing anymore. I don't know. But you have to start in the minor leagues basically and work your way up. It's probably how it works.
I'll take your word for that.
I feel like we should put Nicolas Cage on the case.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Nicolas Cage on the podcast, and I was like, he's invited.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage, if you're out there,
You're
come
welcome.
on.
Come on the show.
That'd be a get, man. Nicolas Cage.
I'd be jazzed. This last one comes to us from Malaya, and Malaya asks how to make jellyfish vape.
Why didn't you add that to the questions?
Well, it doesn't have a question mark. It might have just been like a statement.
How to make jellyfish
Also,
vape.
I don't know how to make a jellyfish vape because they don't have lungs. So,
How to make jellyfish?
Oh, I was thinking more of like, how would we vape a jellyfish?
Oh, how to make
it's so much better.
Like if it's flavor, right? Vape has flavors, doesn't it?
Yeah. You got to get out the old mortar and pestle on a bunch of jellyfish.
A bunch of jellyfish.
I so like, how do you make a jellyfish vape? Oh, but there's so many different possibilities of what that could be.
Can you vape underwater?
Can you vape underwater?
Because if you
What
could,
does a jellyfish taste
why
like?
not?
I'm thinking, I went back to making the jellyfish itself do the vaping. And I was thinking, if you can vape underwater, then you could like put the vape thing underneath the jellyfish and just fill it up with cloud.
This was bonus question number 12.
Yeah. But now if you have any ideas on how to make a vape that is jellyfish.
I think blender is
Okay.
the right answer, but I'm not
Oh.
100% sure.
Oh no.
I don't know what's in vape juice, so maybe, yeah.
Bunch of gross stuff.
Nicotine and
Ugh. Well, that does it in for our great comments from the blog. So thanks for all of these. And if you have a question that needs to be answered in a vaguely scientific manner, please email us at questions@vaguelyscientific.com. If you want to get our episodes the minute that they're released, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and all the other cool places podcasts hang out. Subscribing and leaving feedback on there really helps us out, and so does telling your friends.
And yeah, this makes a good April Fool's joke too. So
Yeah. Any vaguely scientific would make a great April Fool's joke.
yeah. Listen to our entire back catalog.
How many hours of content is that at this point? It's got to be a lot now.
It's a lot.
it's pretty big.
Yeah, because this is episode 93, so
Yeah.
it's a bunch. Well, while you're listening to all these back episodes, don't forget to check out our merch store over at
Yay!
vaguelyscientific.threadless.com. Guess what? We finally put some new things in there. We have, because it is an episode with Justin on it, we have just released a Bigfoot's Best Friend t-shirt.
Woo! It's a really nice design.
Yes.
like
I
it
know
a
it's cute. I kind of want one, but
I
I'm
like
not
it.
Bigfoot's best friend.
I mean, like, I have to get one now, right?
Yeah,
lot. Yeah,
I
you
think you're
do.
morally and contractually obligated.
You're right.
You don't have to be Justin to get the shirt.
Yeah. But only Justin can actually be. It's a whole contract.
I mean,
thing,
unless
so.
they have a
Yeah.
falling out. I don't know. I haven't talked to Bigfoot in a while.
I mean, you can have a couple best friends. I mean, you have a gang that you hang with. You know.
I think the long and the short of it is I have to get the shirt. Now.
Yeah.
Like I'm the only one that has to get it.
yes,
right.
yeah.
You should
You should
get
get
it.
it. Justin
But I have
has
to
to
get
get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because not only is it a cute shirt, but other people will think you're Bigfoot's best friend.
Yeah, you can lie. I advocate lying.
Yeah. We're not above it. We did it a lot this episode.
I mean, I can prove it's not true, so
There you
Have at
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and the other thing that we have that maybe against our better judgment that we're releasing is the living the semi-aquatic horse lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's just a horse in water. It's so cute. I love it.
Nobody has to get that one,
Yeah, but you should.
but you should anyway.
I looked at the final product and I was like, you know what? This is actually pretty good. But as another Robo fan Colemanger said in his comment on the blog, this is a bonus comment that I saved for this section. They said, "I love this store. Once I have discovered it for myself, I no longer waste time on shopping malls. There is no such assortment anywhere else. Moreover, it is being updated at a breakneck speed."
I don't know what your definition of breakneck speed is.
That last one's a lie, but it was a positive lie, and I appreciate it. See, Colemanger is not above lying. Neither are we.
Hooray. Well, thank you to Justin for joining us once again for April Fools. We have decided to not exterminate you.
Oh, thank God.
For vaguely whatever this show is called, I am that thing I said.
I'm Jim?
Oh my gosh, guys, we forgot to give Bigfoot a helmet.
Oh no!
We're in space.
Oh no! Oh, he exploded like a helium.
April Fools.
Oh. Yay.
Well, time to start conquering Earth. How do we turn off this recording device?
I think it's the button that says Toodaloo, everyone.
Ah, here we go.
Toodaloo, everyone.
Well, I don't know how much of that is staying.
We'll find out. We might have enough for like a whole second episode.
It's Scooby-Doo and Flat Earth. We're going to have a lot of like, just like...
Next time Justin is on, we'll just pick some questions about Scooby-Doo and Flat Earth, and we've already recorded it.
and we won't need to do it.
We won't need to do it. It's done.